PrizePicks is having a huge promotion. Every single day of the playoffs, one PrizePicks user will have a chance at becoming a millionaire. If this interests you, sign up using code NBAGoober for a 100% deposit match up to $100. Link is in the description. Sup, dude? I love the Atlanta Hawks with a burning passion. I've been a fan since I was a wee lad in middle school. I'm basically on the team. Back when I was in middle school, we were pretty good, but we didn't have a star, and because we didn't have a star, LeBron came along and shoved his giant black dong down our throat and forced us into a rebuild. By 2017, all our good dudes were gone. Horford, Millsap, Jeff, and Korver all had new homes, and we let Dennis Schroeder man the tank. We were horrible, and we got the third pick in the 2018 draft. With that pick, we selected the fat kid from Slovenia, and then traded him for Trae Young and a pick that would eventually turn into Cam Reddish. I was skeptical about us trading down, but excited because the entire time I'd been a Hawks fan, we never had a star, and I knew Trae was going to be a star. I could feel it in my nuts. Summer League rolled around, and I couldn't have been more hyped to watch Trae play, but then he started playing, and it was horrific. In his first 3 Summer League games, he shot the ball 52 times and made 12 of them. From three-point land, he was worse. He shot 24 threes and made only 3. He sucked, and everyone was already saying he was a bust. I understood he was playing terrible, but I refused to give up on him. The tingle in my nuts was far too strong. I knew he was going to be special. A couple months went by and the 2018 season began. I was pumped up because this was the real deal. This wasn't no Summer League bullshit. This was Trae's time to show everyone who he was. Spoiler alert, he was still ass. In his first game ever, he put up a wicked 14 points on 36% from the field and 20% from 3. Every time he shot the ball, I cringed. Despite this and his many horrible performances, I kept believing in him because the dude needed time to adapt, and I pretty much had no other choice. I had to be delusional. Finally, in his third game ever, he gave a little glimpse of what he would eventually become. Trae put up 35 points and 11 assists on 57% from the field and 43% from 3. I sat there and watched the whole thing crying tears of joy. I held a slight chub the entire time as well. At that point, I had seen enough. I knew Trae was going to be the greatest basketball player in the history of basketball history. He was runner-up for Rookie of the Year after averaging 19 points and 8 assists. In his sophomore season, he drastically improved, averaging close to 30 points per game and 9 assists, earning his first All-Star nod. We didn't make the playoffs in either of his first 2 seasons, but in 2021, the little dude took us all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. During that run, he made both the Knicks and the 76ers his bitch. I went to Game 4 of the Hawks-Knicks series, and the Knicks fans in the crowd were some of the most insufferable people I've ever been around. Their team was getting spanked, and they still wouldn't shut up. 1 or 2 of the Knicks fans around me got kicked out for being so obnoxious. Thank God we had Trae to teach him a lesson. In the second round against the 76ers, Trae ruined Ben Simmons' career. I like to think of this as payback for Ben being named an All-Star over Trae during the regular season. It made no sense, and still makes no sense, how he was an All-Star and Trae wasn't. Ben averaged 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Those aren't All-Star numbers. Trae averaged 25 and 9. Those are All-Star numbers. Anyway, we won in 7 and moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals, where we lost to the Bucks 4-2. The Bucks then went on to win the finals. It might have gone differently if Trae never got injured, but we'll never know. After that playoff run, it's really been all downhill for the Hawks. We got swept by the Heat in the first round last year, and this year, as of the recording of this video, we're about to get bounced by the Celtics. After we lose this series, anything can happen, and Trae getting traded is a real possibility. The things people have been saying about Trae this season have been completely negative. I haven't heard anyone say anything good about him. During All-Star voting, he was voted as the 12th best guard in the East by other NBA players, which is absolutely insane. You're slow in the brain if you think he should be that low. Then there was also a poll done by The Athletic where 54 players were asked who the most overrated player was, and lo and behold, Trae was voted as most overrated. That poll was extremely misleading because there were only 8 dudes who voted for Trae. There are 450 players in the NBA. That poll doesn't tell the whole story. That poll was stupid as fuck. Now there are rumors swirling around that Trae could get traded over the offseason, which is something I never expected to happen. How do we go from making the Eastern Conference Finals to 2 years later talking about trading the guy who got us there? The reason for all the negativity around Trae is of course because the Hawks Hawks underperformed this year after trading for DeJounte, but it's not all Trae's fault. He averaged 26 and 10. He led the league in assists, and he even got a little better at defense. Yeah, he wasn't very efficient, and he turns the ball over a little too much, but that's not the entire reason why we sucked. We sucked because we're an extremely mid team. We were terrible defensively, ass from three-point land, we fired our coach mid-season, John Collins became the worst basketball player on the planet, and the people running things are complete idiots. Our problem started when we lost Travis Schlenk, the dude who rebuilt our team. After Schlenk left, the guy who took over as head of basketball operations was none other than Hawks owner Tony Ressler's 28-year-old dumbass of a son. He's the guy who traded all those picks for DeJounte and lost Kevin. With Nick Ressler making the decisions, I have very little faith anything good happens to us over the offseason. Most of the blame should be on ownership and not the beautiful hairy lollipop. Bleacher Report posted some trade ideas involving Trae a few weeks ago, and they are horrible. Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and 2 firsts for Trae. Hell no. Eric Gordon, Terrence Mann, Bones, a first-round pick swap, and another first for Trae. Hell no. These people are on drugs. I really hope we can keep Trae because he's one of the best point guards in the NBA. He had an off year shooting the ball, but I'm sure he'll be better next season. He's already proved that he can take a team deep into the playoffs, hit big shots, and be that dude. If he gets better with his shot selection and turnovers, I think he can lead the Hawks to a ring if he's got the right pieces around him. Sup, dude? I'm filming this after Trae Young just donkey fucked the Celtics in Game 5. I want to know which 8 players voted him as the most overrated because they are quite possibly the biggest idiots in the league. How could you not know between his legs hangs the biggest kahunas in all of the NBA? He's the greatest player of all time. Dude had 38 points, 13 assists, and 2 steals. How's that for defense? Two-way Trae, baby. Also, when will these butt farts learn that when you start chanting mean things at Trae, he will cook you? My guy is one of the clutchest dudes in the league. I don't even care if we lose the next game. Trae just basically won the finals in my opinion. In his last 3 games, he's averaging 35 points and 12 assists, shooting 46% from the field and 38% from 3. He's tearing Boston apart. This man is a superstar. We have to win the next 2 games to stay alive, which is going to be pretty hard because it feels like every single player on the Celtics is in the 50-40-90 club, but win or lose, I don't care. I'm happy Trae proved the doubters wrong yet again. Trae Young beat the overrated allegations, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's safe to say the Hawks would be extremely stupid to trade him. Put some respect on his name. Good night. See you in the A. My last video I picked who I think should win MVP. You can click right there to watch it. Thanks for watching this one. Bye, dude.